Hey, hey, Capricorn, Intuitive Soul Coach here. Welcome back if you are returning, and welcome if you are new. I'm Mel, an intuitive reader, and I'm so very grateful you found me today. All right, Cap, let's dive in and take a peek at what is unfolding for you over the next 3 months. Now, I am seeing the words sacred space and sacred living. I mean, this could be someone's business logo or name, but I have a feeling you are creating an environment within your home that feels sacred, within your body that feels sacred. So you could even be reorganizing or redecorating. Perhaps you are adding a book nook, a place where you can go read uninterrupted. This could be you adding a bench to your outside area. Maybe you're hanging some fairy lights. You may be painting a wall, just creating that warm, cozy, inviting energy into your space. But I also feel like sacred living, meaning you are participating, Capricorn, in routines and exercises that bring in a sense of inner peace to your own life. Maybe you're carving out an hour a day to go to a yoga class, or you could be dedicating an hour a day to learning, maybe learning or mastering your craft. You're creating a life that feels sacred, but I also see connections showing up here where you may be bringing an energy together. This could be an online community. It's a sacred, safe space for people to show up, for people to let their guard down. Now, you could be the one who is participating. Some of you could be the one who is hosting. I see that you are in the midst of redesigning your life because I'm getting this designer energy. I mean, some of you are artists where you could be great at interior decorating. I mean, this could be connected to your profession in some way, but I also see here that you are rearranging the things in your life that aren't a top priority. I mean, some of you could literally be rearranging your home, but it feels like the sacred life is more about you prioritizing what feels sacred to you. And on the top of that list should be you, your body, your mind. So let's move in here. You have the shadow coming through, Capricorn. So this tells me that you have been doing a lot of reflection, and oftentimes we tend to avoid, numb, neglect, or be subconsciously unaware of our shadows, which can contribute to certain blockages or setbacks in our lives. Capricorn, not you. You're facing something head on. You are looking at your fear. You're looking at any self-sabotaging behaviors or anything in your life that is draining your energy. And this is why you are rearranging your life, because you are brave enough and courageous enough to look at something and say, okay, this is not working. What do I need to do to shift? Or this does not feel right in my energy or my space. So what do I need to do to release? I see that you've done a lot of inner healing. Many of you are healers, coaches, and guides yourself, but that doesn't omit us from doing the work on ourselves, right? Oftentimes, it is the healers that have gone through some of the most challenging times. And I feel like you have the experience to help others because it feels like you are the light. And there's the light. You have the sun. You are the light source for others. And many of you are sharing your story. It's like you're bringing something out into the light that may have been suppressed in your shadow. And by doing so, you're claiming yourself as whole. There's no pointing a finger. There's no judgment. There's no criticism. There's no shame. It feels like these are all energies that you've worked with to some degree, but you are claiming yourself as whole instead of sitting in one of those vibrations longer than you would like. So shadow work coming through for the month of February is actually a good sign with what I see, because you have the Four of Swords putting something to rest. You have the Wheel of Fortune breaking out of patterns, which is really about you changing and shifting, right? Moving that wheel forward. And you have the Six of Swords. Bye, bye, bye energy. This is about departure. So you're moving out of the shadow, because some of you felt like you had a little bit of a cloud over you. And I see that with the Six of Swords. You can see the clouds above, but the sun has always been there, right? The sun is always there, and it feels like you are creating that sacred space within your home, within your body, within your mind that is optimistic, that is bringing in, again, that inner peace where your nervous system is not automatically going to default into that fight or flight. Your adrenals may have been fatigued. Some of you have suffered from something that's been chronic. Maybe you've had chronic flares, or you have struggled here getting yourself out of some sort of loop or some sort of pattern. Capricorn, do you realize how powerful you are? You have gone through this experience to be a guiding light for others and to break out of perhaps generational cycles. You are a change agent, is what I'm hearing. You are a change agent, which means you are a trailblazer. You are here to pave the way for future generations. Perhaps this is your own children. This could be your clients, people that you work with. This could be your family. And you are the one who is facing this problem, this pattern, this cycle, this addiction, or this tendency to default back into old programming. And when we become aware, because that is the first step, awareness, then we're able to move, right? Then we're able to take action. And I also see that some of you could be going on a spiritual retreat. That could be the sacred space as well. You could be booking travel, because the Six of Swords can connect to travel. I also see that you may be sharing your story, putting it out into the world in some way with the Six of Swords. The Swords connects to technology. So you may be shifting out of a mentality that had felt like you had to conform in some way. Conform to living a life in a certain manner because that's what you were taught, or that's what you believed for some period. Because when we know better, we can do better. But sometimes it's the knowing. We don't have the answers. We don't feel like we have the tools or the awareness to be able to shift. And you've taken accountability. That's powerful, because a lot of people struggle with accountability. And Capricorn, you are getting to a space where your nervous system is more in that parasympathetic nervous system, the rest and digest, versus the fight or flight. So basically what I'm trying to tell you here is you're moving out of survival mode, right? You're not just surviving. You are moving into a space where you are thriving and moving into the month of March. You have signs and symbols here. Signs and symbols speaks of spirit communication. Now I have to ask some of you, March may be a significant month. This could be the death of a loved one that has already occurred, right? It's not a premonition, but it could be that you have a loved one in spirit that connects with the month of March. That may be your biggest cheerleader. There may be a lot of healing around you in this energy. Oftentimes I've found that people do some of their most profound healing after someone has crossed over, all right, with that individual. And this is about you paying attention to the messages that your higher self, that your guides, your angels are sending you, because we also have here divine guidance showing up at the bottom of the deck. And when divine guidance shows up, this is angelic support, and it's connected to signs and symbols here. So for many of you, this is spiritual strength. You've gone through something that's been very difficult. It's been very heavy on your heart. And you may receive signs through your dreams, through your visions. It could be smells may show up for you. I feel like your gifts are heightened, and you may also be healing through your sleep, right? Cellular repairs. I mean, we know that sleep is very healing anyway. It's a very big part of the restoration process. But some of you, because you have maybe struggled with sleep, it feels like the body has had a difficult time repairing. And I feel like you are getting to a space where there may even be a new sleep routine or a cycle or something that you are doing in your daily life is contributing to bettering your health, bettering your sleep conditions here. Now, pay attention to your dreams again, because there could be a loved one in spirit that shows up in your dreams. This could even be a pet or an animal. But I also feel like this is your daydream. It's something positive that you've been thinking about, daydreaming about, longing for. You have been taking actionable steps, or in the month here of March, you are going to take actionable steps to step out of the comfort zone, perhaps, to listen to this guided message that is coming through for you this month. So your intuition is strong. You have divine help. There is a prayer that is being answered, and you're not alone on this path. This is spiritual strength. You are co-creating, Capricorn, with your biggest manifesting partner, Spirit. You have here the Sun, you have the Ace of Coins, and you have the Ten of Swords. There has been some sort of grief that you have gone through that has, again, felt like a bit of a dark cloud. And it's been difficult for you to feel the rays of the sun, that warmth, that vibrancy, that joy, that happiness. Some of you have gone through a karmic cycle or lesson with a family member, with an ex, or with someone that you've worked with. It feels like this was a very difficult lesson. Also, some of you loss. There could be loss, again, of a family member, a divorce. This could be loss of a job. You've gone through stuff, as we all have, but it feels like you had really started to feel the heaviness of this, especially in 2024 and 2025. And I'm also getting 2019 may have been a significant year for many of you. And you are closing out this chapter. It's been a long time coming. Your departure here has arrived. Many of you are moving physically, as I mentioned, into a new home. This could be leaving behind an old job, an old career, an old role, even an old identity. Because sometimes we can be attached to the shadow identity where we tend to live and lead from that shadow. But you are claiming yourself as whole and saying, okay, the shadow was there to protect me, right? The shadow was there at times to try to keep me safe, but it's not conducive to where I'm going now. It is a cycle that I have completed out, and there's forgiveness, and it feels like you have shed a lot of tears, and you see that the tears are watering this beautiful flower, and it's red, which connects to the root chakra, which has to do with our safety, our security, our sense of belonging. And oftentimes it's formulated in our early years, especially between the ages of 0 and 7. What we were conditioned or impressioned upon, right? What we witnessed, what we viewed, how we got our needs met, our basic needs of survival. And I see that you are watering the seed that has been planted for some of you. This is going to be a changing turning point. Again, change agents. You have joy ahead. There are brighter days ahead here for you. So this is sustainability. And some of you may have lost hope because you may have had some seeds that have come in, but they haven't stayed, right? Or it didn't stick. Or it's like you watered it, but it still wilted, right? It still died. And you're like, what gives here? Like, how can I really build something long-term that's sustainable? I see that old belief system or again, cycle is really closing out here, and you're embodying the fire horse energy, and you are taking actionable steps, but you're also trusting in the unknown, because sometimes you have to move into this joy, right? And there's this, I don't want to say blind optimism, but trusting that there are sunny days ahead for you. And you have a new invitation, a new offer, opportunity on the horizon here. And you have planted the seeds. And I feel like it's important to stay optimistic. It's important to believe. And you're going to see the signs and symbols coming through. And also, someone in the spirit world is bringing in a new family member. Now, this family member could be a pet. So, for example, you have been thinking about getting a pet, and you could have a loved one that is bringing in a pet at the right place, right time, where you adopt a pet, or you could inherit a pet or an animal. Some of you may work with animals. I see that you have the strong connection to nature, which, no surprise, you are an earth sign. But on the sun, you see here the beautiful horse, which is that fire horse energy. You have here the dogs, you have the turtles, the kangaroos. So I do see that maybe even someone in spirit could have worked on a farm, or they may have had a lot of animals as well. But you have something beautiful that you are tending to. And this is an opportunity that's not going to go away. It is here to stay. This could be a new relationship for some of you. It could be a new job offer that brings you that sense of security and safety that you have been formulating within. And moving into the month here of April, you have messages. So this could be the month where everything aligns. This is incoming news. It is important communication, announcements. I'm seeing here for sale and sold. So this could be real estate transactions. Some of you may be finalizing a divorce or finalizing something that has been difficult that you've gone through here, but you are embracing a new chapter, and there's a message in a bottle. So I feel like this is something that does feel good, because you have here strength, you have the 10 of Wands, and you have the Knight of Cups. So strength tells me you're leaning into your strengths. But first, you had to approach your weakest link. You had to look at some of those shadows, right? You had to look at some of those weak spots, those triggers. And because you have faced something head on, you have become more resilient. You have become stronger. And I always say we have the ability to become bitter or better. The choice is up to you. We can let the past drag us down, where we stay in that space of suppression and darkness. And if that's where you're at, seek help, right? Seek help, seek guidance. Light is at the end of the tunnel here. You don't have to go through something alone. And for those of you that are well on your way towards this happiness, you deserve this. This is part of your birthright. Yes, you've gone through some challenges, but you have become a better teacher, a better guide, a better wife, husband, parent, coworker, boss, because of what you've gone through here. And strength tells me that you are resilient. You get knocked down, 9 times, you get up 10. And I feel like you are someone who is very sought after, meaning people come to you for guidance, come to you for advice. I'm hearing this song. Gosh, I haven't heard the song forever. I think it's on Save the Last Dance. You can do it, put your back into it. But I'm getting, you can do it, put your heart into it. So it feels like your heart is showing up, not the back per se. I mean, the back represents support. The back represents, it can be, financial support, emotional support. That's coming up for you, right? That is the backbone here of the Ace of Pentacles, but it feels like you're living and leading with your heart, and it's going to be sustainable. You'll have the support, but you have to lean into the heart. I hope that makes sense. You have the 10 of Wands, and the 10 of Wands is you staying determined to see something through. So double 10s coming up here. It feels like the load that you've been carrying, the burden that has felt, again, like that cloud, the message that's coming through here Oh, there's the heart, right? You can do it, put your heart into it. There's the voyage. There's the quest. This is you following your passion. This is moving towards what lights you up. Just like sunflowers lean towards the sun, I feel like that is what you are being guided to do. Lean towards the sun. It doesn't mean that you are avoiding the shadow, right? Not by any means. It doesn't mean that you're neglecting. It feels like you are staying optimistic and claiming yourself again as whole. That message keeps coming up here. It surprises me that I haven't seen the world, but I bet you we'll see that. We'll see that in one of your readings here shortly, because it feels like there's this energy of closure. There's an energy of victory, an energy of putting yourself out into the world in a different way. It feels like progress over perfection, and you are seeing yourself progressing in more ways than maybe you have in the last 6 months. It's almost like it comes in all at once, or it comes in quickly, but you have been working behind the scenes, even if it feels like things have been slower. Now you have the 7 of Swords at the bottom of the deck, and now I see why that shadow is here. Because some of you have been caught in betrayal. You've been caught in some sort of deception. You've been caught in lies, or there may have even been some sort of scandal, something that you witnessed growing up even, or something that had been a part of your past relationships. And I see that you are saying, I am aware of my emotions. I'm aware of my body, and I'm aware of the sacred space that I am creating for myself, for my family, for those I love. And I'm living and leading from the heart, but I'm also not going to get stomped on, right? I'm not going to be taken advantage of. And that may have been a lesson that you've learned the hard way, as we all do. Most lessons we do learn the hard way. But I see here that the first step is getting honest with yourself. And like I said, it takes bravery to look at the shadow, because most people would rather keep the shadow on lockdown, right? It's the white elephant in the room. We don't really want to address it, or nor do we know how. But I feel like you have been. And I feel like psychology is a part of this. So whether this is you learning about neuroplasticity, learning about the brain, learning about I'm getting like guided meditations, because that can help you. I see EMDR. Some of you are psychology majors. I also see journaling could be beneficial for you, Capricorn, or writing things down. Many of you are writers, creators, authors, or you may be getting into your creativity a bit more over the coming months. And creativity doesn't mean you are, painting or coloring. I mean, it can be, but it feels like you're getting creative with how you approach life. And you're opening yourself up to meeting new people and starting conversations that maybe you wouldn't normally have, or you are joining a new class or a new workshop. And instead of kind of shying back, I feel like you are being given a little bit of that push, that gentle nudge from spirit, lending you this confidence here. And the more that you continue to embrace this forward momentum that is lining up for you, the more that you're going to see your world starts to shift. And you have here some heavy energies that you are releasing, that you have worked really, really hard to get to where you are at. And I also see for those of you that have an exam coming up or some sort of testing, maybe it feels like the universe has been testing you, but it does feel like you pass, even if this is something that you've had to apply for 3 different times, or it could be a test that you've taken a few different times, or if you've been wanting to get accepted into a program. It feels like there's going to be an empowering message, even though you may have wanted to give up at times. Now, we're going to look at the chakras that are coming through for you. What chakras are you working with over the next few months? Now we have here the fourth chakra, which is the heart, and this has to do with peace. And you can do it, put your heart into it, right? So we have the heart chakra highlighted, which is in this area of the body. It says here, I will meditate and be peaceful and calm in my interactions with others and the world. Peacefulness comes in me, giving up the love of power for the power of love. I invite peace to be a part of my life, and I make time to experience my own inner stillness daily. Can't forget that part. I think we mentioned that earlier. I continually develop an inner sense of calm, and I trust that everything will be all right. Feeling good about myself will help bring peace into my life. Beautiful confirmation here. And I love the quote, giving up the love of power for the power of love. And you are absolutely inviting more peace, right? There's the sacred space, the sacred living. And it says here again, daily, you are cultivating that daily practice. The daily environment here is conducive to your long-term growth, your long-term stability. So staying consistent here with putting one foot in front of the other, you are moving into a new chapter of your life, a new era where brighter days are ahead. It is the light at the end of the tunnel for many of you. And I know you Capricorns work harder than anyone I've ever met, my goodness, but it's so very important for you to take care of your body, take care of your mind, right? Take care of you. You tend to put your needs on the back burner and you take care of so many other people, or you've been taught that it's selfish to take care of you first, right? But you have chosen to not self-abandon yourself in the process. And that's one of those lessons that you may have even put into that shadow box. Now, we have here the base chakra, which connects to our instincts. We talked about that base chakra, which is also safety, security, a sense of belonging. It's our survival. It says here, I trust that my instincts are correct, and I let my natural intuitive feelings guide me forwards. I will know what I need to do and how to respond with wisdom to situations that come my way. I have an innate desire to be of service in this life. I will know what service I am called to do. I believe in myself. I want you to claim that truth. I believe in myself. Jot it down. Write it in the comment section below. I'll enter you into the free reading giveaway. Capricorn, I believe in myself. Say it out loud. Say it in your mind. Feel it in your body. I believe in myself. And lastly here, we have the third eye, which I thought we talked about earlier, but we have that third eye chakra, which is inner knowing. You are someone who is very intuitive. You have this inner knowing, this divine guidance, this presence within, and you have the ability to trust your inner knowing. It says, I am at peace with myself. I create more moments of stillness and silence, and I listen for the truth. And that's where this Seven of Swords shows up, right? I am open to connecting with and listening to my gut and my heart's feelings, and I don't override them with my mind's logic. I practice meditation, prayer, and contemplation. Yes, you do. So many of you are clairvoyant, or you may be opening up your gift of clairvoyance. But I also see that you are practicing, as I mentioned, sacred space by being still. And this could even include walking meditations. You know, even in movement, we can find stillness. I mean, take yoga, for example. So for many of you, you are receiving divine downloads, especially over the next 3 months. Many of you are channelers. Do you know that, Capricorn? You are a channeler. You may be receiving information where you are guided to share, to bring this information to light. The sword energy means you could start a platform, or you could put yourself out there into the light, into the world. And this is something that may pick up a lot of traction. And it may originally start out as an intuitive nudge to put yourself out there, but you may be surprised at how much this grows. Now, for those of you that may be opening yourself up to love, relationships, I see that you are moving away from, again, some sort of grief or pain, even if you have been widowed, or if you've gone through a divorce, or if you've gone through a very painful experience. You are planting new roots. You are connecting with an energy that feels honest, that feels loyal, that feels committed, that feels warm, and feels safe to your nervous system. And both of you are compatible together. It feels like there's this inner strength that both of you carry, because both of you have gone through hardship. You've gone through the school of hard knocks. And I see that you've carried a lot together. And even if you are married or you're with someone and you are wanting to move towards calmer waters, you have the ability to do so. All right. You have the ability to work together, better together here for many of you, if that is a choice that you both want to lean into. I mean, some of you with the 10s could be deciding to release and depart, but I see for those of you that are going through something heavy, you certainly could have a partnership here that could be very beneficial, okay? Or you're connecting, you're meeting someone new that feels bright and feels sunny, even when that cloud is sometimes looming. Now, another message I'm getting here for those of you creatives out there, you are being guided to, again, move your body. I see that strongly here. So getting moving here, working with animals, connecting with nature. I'm getting whole foods for many of you, and taking a look at practices that help you bring your ideas to life, or get those ideas moving, and then action them up. Because the Ace of Pentacles is connected to the material world. So that means if you have a creative project in mind, if you can imagine it, if you can believe in it, you have the ability to take a step towards it, because that's where I feel like you are going to really grow. I read one time that action cuts through anxiety. So if you are feeling anxiety, just do it, right? Take that action step, push through those fears, because you're going to be surprised with where you land on the other side. That is what I have for you, Capricorn. Thank you so much for being here, being a part of this community, this channel. If you did enjoy the reading, please give it a thumbs up. Feel free to share, like, and subscribe if you haven't already. And if you are interested in a personal reading or signing up for the monthly newsletter, you can find that information in the description box below the video, or by visiting intuitivesoulcoach.com.